Good morning, everybody. Today is day 134 on the AT. Big T on the AT 26. And yeah, I'm here at Shaw's Hiker Hostel in Monson. And I've been drinking coffee this morning and enjoying finishing up videos and preparing to do the 100-mile wilderness. I've got a good resupply. My resupply box came here yesterday late, but it came. I've been sending them UPS instead of through the mail, and it has been a good decision to do that. And I've got my food drop all set up for the third day, 2 o'clock on the third day. So I'm carrying 2.5 days of food, and then should be enough food to finish up after that. Love this hostel. It's a great place. They got that store I showed you yesterday. This place is just equipped to help hikers. Poet's in there cooking breakfast right now. I expect pancakes, eggs. It's gonna be good. There's a lot of neat stuff here that he's had for years, helping hikers going either direction, Nobo or Sobo. So you want to try to stay here if at all possible. It's a great place. Every walk with nature, one receives far more than he seeks. That's the John Muir saying. Pretty picture. Paint splash.
And the guy didn't really like that, so he wanted it to be Borsto, B-O-R-E. And Myron Area is like, well, I'm not putting my trail on your mountain. He's like, well, I would let you put your trail on my mountain, and there you go. No,
It sounds like Myron Area, doesn't it?
it does.
Yeah.
It does. Yeah, they got a little fussy about that.
I think I heard Myron Area left 2 trails from Georgia to Maine.
Yeah.
One was the AT, and the other one was broken friendships and
Yeah. For
relationships.
Sure. Now, for you guys going southbound, you're going to find out that one of the best parts of hiking is not hiking, but you have to hike first to know that. So keep on treating yourself as you come from town to town. When you get in there, get a hot meal, get a good hot shower, get a good night's sleep, and it's a real esteem booster because it starts off being a physical struggle for sure, but then it can turn into a mental struggle if you're not doing things for yourself. It's an emotional roller coaster, but it's the down days that make the good days that much better. And it's way better than that bland and tepid existence of sitting on the couch and doing nothing at all. The memories that you're going to have from this hike are some of the best memories you'll ever have in your entire life. And I always say this when I do a hike. At some point in the hike, there's always a moment where I regret that I did it. I just got to be honest. I'm just like, I'm not having a great time right now. But when I get done with the hike, I have never regretted ever doing any hike that time. It's actually been the best thing that I've ever done. So, and also you're in Maine. And Maine is one of the most beautiful states on the trail. And it's one of the most rugged states on the trail. And that gives you 2 reasons to take it easy, let your body get used to it. Once you get south of the Whites, then you can open up the floodgates and just cruise on through. And start packing out good food too. I saw Wilder, you do that already, but you'll be, when your pack gets lighter, you'll be able to carry out things like avocados and peaches and bell peppers and stuff like that. You'll be glad to have that. And for you guys going northbound, you're about to enter one of the most beautiful parts of the entire Appalachian Trail. I absolutely love the 100-mile wilderness. You're going to see the tallest waterfall on the trail in about 6.6 miles. And the way the water cascades down the slate makes these really cool geometric patterns. It's a beautiful place to take a break. On top of the chairbacks, it's like an ancient forest, moss-covered stones, pitcher plants. And there's a plane crash up there that was from the late 80s. It was a father and a son, and they both survived. So that's kind of a good part to that story. You don't have to wonder what happened to those folks. And then you're going to come down into the Hermitage, and that's a virgin pine forest. There's giant white pines there that they're going to use for masts for ships in the British Navy, and they're still there. And then you head up to the top of Whitecap. And from the top of Whitecap, you're going to see Mount Katahdin clearly for the first time. They say that the view from the top of Whitecap is the axe that breaks up the frozen seas within us. And the steelier parts of your soul that have been... I messed up on that. The steelier parts of your soul that have been hardened by the long and arduous miles will shatter. Actually, you'll probably be sucked in. I don't know. But when you get there, you realize that you might actually be having a good time out here. I know that when I got to this trailhead, I was really ready to be done. But when I saw the mountain for the first time, it was a lot closer than I wanted it to be. So I guess ultimately, savor it to the last drop. That's what I can encourage you to do. And in that last half, you've got Antlers Campsite, you've got Namakanta Lake, and you've got Rainbow Lake Dam. And those are all awesome places to be able to stop and take a break and soak it in. Because you're feeling reflective, the trail is reflective. It's like when mood meets setting in a novel. And then when you get to the top of Mount Katahdin, you're going to ride your legs to the top. I call it the leg escalator. But when you get up there and have that cathartic moment, you turn to silly putty. So take the zip line down. That's the easiest way. Either that or take out the knife edge and keep the adrenaline going. That's for sure. So I wrote haiku in the shelter logs on the entire trail, and I wrote one in Lehman Brook, and it seemed to really resonate with the end of the trail. It's drink your deepest now, for the richest stuff settles in the final swig. And I wrote it because it wasn't purifying my water, but I realized there's a metaphor going on there. Do not ever let this pass you by. You're doing one of the coolest things you'll ever do in your entire life. And for the rest of your life, you compare everything to your through hike and realize one of the happiest times you can be is when you have the least. You're a hero, and if nobody else tells you, we're super proud of you, buddy. You keep up the good work.
Thank you. All right, here we go. Headed out. Poet did his usual. Pretty incredible. I got emotional. I'm getting emotional right now. Gosh. Thank you, Lord, for getting me here. Help me finish strong. Thanks for all you've done for me. Thank all of you who follow me and who have prayed for me, who have sent money. There's so many of you who Venmo me money just supporting my trip. So many of you done trail magic for me to help me, said words of encouragement, all of that. I am grateful, so grateful for you. I try not to, I've always tried to be positive. Whew, I don't know what's going on with me, but it's emotional. I'm gonna soak up these last few days, knowing that this may be my last through hike. Maybe my last time in Maine, I don't know, you know. It's been so hard. My body is, I feel like I've abused my body, and it's saying you got to stop this. And I don't know why the last month, the last 3 weeks have been really hard on me. I've fallen. I haven't told you, but I've fallen so many times. I'm probably up to about 25 falls now. I fell twice yesterday, and my back has been hurting since my Mahoosuc Notch. So, but it's a wonderful experience. I'm glad I'm here. The Appalachian Trail caution: there are no places to obtain supplies or get help until a ball bridge 100 miles north. Do not attempt this section unless you have a minimum of 10 days supplies and are fully equipped. This is the longest wilderness section of the entire AT, and its difficulty should not be underestimated. Good hiking. Well, somebody made this dude mad. He was called when I got here, and he looks poisonous. I have no idea what kind of snake that is. Trying to see his head. He is not moving though. He was called the second I got here. The last guy I just passed made him mad. He looks kind of poisonous. I didn't know there were poisonous snakes in Maine. This is called North Pond. Very peaceful. Very, very peaceful. All right, this is the tallest falls on the AT. This is the top of them. Huge gorge here. Day hikers here too. Hopefully I can get a better shot of it down here. Ooh. Difficult down here. Roots galore. All right, this is the first ford of the 100-mile wilderness. And this is that same stream. The waterfall is on way up there. And this thing's flowing pretty good. I've got to pick and choose where I'm gonna go here. It's gonna be a little tricky. I don't think I want to get past those rocks. I want to stay up here. Of course, there's the trail marker there. This is where you probably can rock hop. If the water looks like it's about 8 to 10 inches lower, you could rock hop. Not today. Here we go. All right, first ford done. First river crossing over with. Thank goodness. I don't know how many more there are, a bunch. It's called the Big Wilson Cliffs. Looks like I'm about to go off of them down there. It's probably the highest I've been today. Close to it. Oh, I may have been over there in those woods and didn't realize it, but gotta climb down here. All right, you're looking at Big Wilson Stream, and this will be the second ford of the day. This one's a little more challenging than the last. Wider, probably a little deeper, and definitely will not be filming across here. We'll have both hands on poles to cross. Looks like I don't know where to go across. I gotta pick and choose the rocks to step on, but this one's a little more serious. Still avoided rain today. I hadn't tried not to talk about it. Hadn't had any rain thus far. It's been a nice blessing. All right, here we go. Okay, that was a little more precarious than I'd like to admit, but I'm across. I am going to take a break here. I'm going to filter water, so I'm going to get water out of this stream. But it came up to the, you can see my pants legs got wet right here and right here. And that's with me being careful not to avoid the deep spots. There was places where it was going to get my phone wet in my pocket and I didn't have it in the Ziploc. I was thinking it was going to be easier than it was. It was not easy. It was rather precarious. Maybe I didn't pick the right spot. I don't know. But this is where the white blazes are. See it right there. Whew. But I'm glad that's over. I had a good lunch sitting here. Filtered water. I drank 1.5 liters of water since I've been here. Carrying 1 liter. I had a chicken wrap. And I had some chips. I had some Nutter Butters. What else did I eat? I'm full. So I feel like I'm fueled again. We'll see how this. Man, I got weight out of my pack, which is the best thing. I got my resupply coming at 2 o'clock in 2.5 days. And then should make it out with that resupply. And I got my shoes on, my feet are dry, so my feet are in good shape. I'm taking a towel, a little pack towel that I carry, and dry my feet off every time before I put my socks back on. And I'm avoiding as much of the water as I can in the trail with it not raining. Now, if it started raining, that's impossible. Just the water off the bushes soaks my feet, not to mention what's in the trail. I'm thankful to start out with a dry feet anyway. All right, it's hard to climb this thing without poles. Let me get up here. Okay, it's only fitting in the first couple of days that a grouse on this trail, grouse scared the life out of me. Well, this might as well happen at the end of the trip too. He just did it again. I think he came all the way from Georgia to here to get me again. Oh, he got me that time. I heard a train a little while ago coming down the track. Oh, I hear that train a coming. It's coming around the bend.
Right. All right. That's a
All right, when I was hiking in the Whites, coming through the Whites, I met a subscriber named Uncle. I mentioned him. His trail name's Uncle. He was training that day, and he told me, "Yeah, I'm gonna see you again," because he told me when his start date was, and he's gonna be a sobo. And yesterday, he rolled in behind me, right at Shaw's Hiker Hostel, and we got to visit a long time. Ate breakfast together this morning. Uncle is a great guy. He's from Maine. He's a Christian, and I was excited for him. He's been making this plan to through hike the AT for 35 years. You know, this is a big thing to a lot of people. I'm in some mess here. And it takes, one, a lot of physical effort, but you know, it's not easy to do this. It's from your family, financially, and just to be out, away from everything you know and are comfortable with. It takes a big commitment, and then the physical part, you know, is, I don't know. For me, there's nothing more that matches anything. I mean, I'll never do anything this physically demanding, I'm sure, as well as the mental. But way to go, Uncle. That's what I'm trying to get to. He's through the 100-mile wilderness. He's got that behind him, and of course he's got a long way to go. But this is his dream, and way to chase your dream. You know, that's what it's all about. Set goals for yourself, and you know, do it. Do your best. Make it happen. You know, we're not getting any younger. Nobody's getting any younger. I don't care what your dreams are, what you want to do with your life. You know, don't wait. I promise tomorrow. I'm just happy to meet Uncle and spend some time with him over the last few hours that we were together at Shaw's. He'll do well. Now for the disclaimer. I say all of that and then I think about how you might receive that. And I know a through hike is not for everybody. I know that that's not something that, I don't know what the percentage can do. And for a lot of reasons, not necessarily physical, but also, I couldn't have done it. I was more physically able earlier in my life than I ever was now. But I couldn't have done it with 2 children. And, I couldn't take off 5 months, 6 months and go hike and leave my family. And financially, I couldn't do it. But it was a dream. And I never let the dream die, even after a broken back and a rebuilt ankle, So don't give up on your dreams. And look at Prepper. He's hiking a trail with 4 artificial joints. It's pretty incredible. He's not giving up. So, whatever your dream is, and it's not necessarily hiking, through hiking. And some of you, I realize you follow me because you want to live through this lens of this camera. And that's fine. I'm happy to share. And you might not, but you do. There is something that you're dreaming about that you could do that maybe you put off, or it's going to take some work for you to get to it. Whatever it is, I have no idea. I'm not claiming to be any kind of prophet or anything, but just telling you, just trying to challenge you and encourage you. That's it. Chase your dreams, make them happen. If you're 15 or 75, 85, 95, look at Graybeard. Whatever your dream is, don't give up on it. This is a good spot for mushrooms. Those yellow ones again. I don't think you can eat those. There's a bunch more. Look at there. I like this spot. I'm pretty sure you do not eat those. Not that I eat any. I would be desperate, starving to eat the chicken of the woods, just because I'm so afraid I might mistake one for toxic. They say they're really good though. All right, number 3 for today. Crocs on again. Waterfall there. And a little waterfall up there. And it looks like I could rock hop right there, but I can't. It's just too much water hitting the tops of the rocks. There's too big a gap right here. I would get my feet wet right there. So I gotta wade, and I don't think it's gonna be a problem to wade it, other than the time it takes to keep swapping out. Ooh, this water's cold too. All the water in Maine is cold. What's the deal? Don't y'all have any hot water up here? Mississippi, all our water is hot now. Yeah, it's gonna be fairly easy. Just don't need to slip down, do I? You don't want to mess up here though, because you'd be going over that waterfall. And there's that. All Crocs just for that. Another 3 or 4 inches lower on that water and I could rock hop it. At some point that's not going to be worth the time. Especially I know I got another one in 0.6 the forward, possibly. hoping for rock hop on it. Hey, pray for my friend Bob's wife, Marilyn. She's the one you have prayed for before. She has, she's in cancer remission. She has been on dialysis. She had kidney cancer, and she's doing really well with that. But she's some issues going on with her shoulder, and she is in an incredible amount of pain, and is having appointments to try to figure out how to manage that pain, and has 2 different appointments coming up very soon. Pray for her. If you've ever had a lot of pain, you know how miserable that makes your life, and you can't function and do anything because all you're dealing with is pain. And you take medicines for it, and it just knocks you out, and you're worthless there. So pray for Marilyn and Bob, and she's her caregiver. Thank you. All right, most of the comments in Far Out say this is a rock hop, but it is definitely not a rock hop today, and there's no rock hop around it. So I've got to get across this thing. So this is number 4. Really, I think the trail must be over there. I don't think I need to be crossing over there. I'm assuming they want you to cross where this rope is. But it looks like the trail's over there. I don't see a blaze anywhere. Maybe there's an old blaze right there. Probably is. All right, here we go. All right, I'm across. That's pretty stressful. I will have to admit, this stresses me just a little. I'm afraid I'm gonna lose my Crocs in the water. I got different type of Crocs. I got Velcro on my straps so I can tighten them real tight. But when I tighten them real tight, it's not much Velcro holding. So kind of catch-22 there. All right, time to swap back over. This is the same creek I just crossed. Number 4 crossing. Check that out. My day ain't near about over. I gotta go up there. And then I go down to the shelter. This is Lake Onawa. This is called Barren Ledges I'm on. But the trail goes all the way to the top up there. That's called Barren Mountain. Whew. It's 6:32. I am whipped and hurting. I'm having troubles with my back. I'm hoping that this is not something that's going to shut me down. Oh. Almost forgot to tell you, I'm at 2,100. 2,100 miles of hiking. Less than 100 to go. About 98 to go. I don't know what it is this year. 2198, I think, point something. Over. It's coming this way. And there's no way I can outrun it. But it's pretty. I guess that was an old fire tower. Barren Mountain. I gotta go. I've done good staying dry today. I don't think I'm gonna make it to the shelter though. Cloud Pond. Made it here. Time enough to beat everybody, but now there's 3 other hikers here. It's a pretty spot. I hope I can sleep with all these crows. About to get some water and cook supper. 19 miles today and a lot of elevation, more than I wanted.